The topic there being hate speech, and our big question tonight: do laws banning hate speech infringe on freedom of speech? Now, as we were going to the break, Dr. Kibunja, Wanyiri Kihoro there mentioned about the laws touching on hate speech being similar to those that were laws of sedition.
Yes, and with all due respect to Mr. Kihoro, and also my sympathies to him for being a victim of those sedition laws, is that the National Cohesion and Integration Act is one of the newest laws we have in this country. This was a law that was passed in 2008 after what we went through as a country, and where everybody, after soul searching and listening to ourselves as a country, we realized we needed a law that will stop people who are inciting us on the basis of ethnicity. And the MPs who passed this law in 2008, some of them were victims of those sedition laws, which I'm very happy that they were repealed. So really, to equate one of our newest law that is supposed to help us to become one nation, one of the law that was passed by victims of those sedition laws to sedition law, I think it's unfair, and I think Mheshimiwa knows that.
You suffered under the sedition laws as well.
Yes, in 1881 I was arrested and charged with sedition, which was a document, a letter that I'd actually written to a friend, but those who were in power then did not take it as just an innocent letter, and it was given a spin that I did not even imagine could be given by anybody, and became the basis of my being taken to court and being remanded in custody for 14 days. And also providing sureties and securities for a period of about 4 months before the charges were withdrawn. And I think 25 years, 30 years down the line, I find it incredible that those who have been taken to court could be suffering the same fate that I suffered 28 years ago. You see, Kenya should move on and stop looking backwards and stop sanitizing the colonial laws and try to implement them today as hate speech or as propaganda or as incitement. We must accept that our people have come of age, that our people know the difference between hate and love. Our people know the difference between patriotism and selling out. They know the difference between sycophancy and dedication to one's job. And basically that is what is happening here, that our people are being adulterated by the law that was enacted by Parliament in 2008. I agree that the National Cohesion and Integration Act is a 2008 Act, but it looks down on our people's ability to assess and to critique and to tell the difference between love and hate. All
right, the people are being underrated. They can tell the difference for themselves between issues of love and issues of hate, between hate speech and simple propaganda.
Yes, and that's why I am saying, by the way, we get a lot of complaints on these people, even some statements that this is hate speech, this is hate speech. But as a commission, we are professionals, and if you look at the composition of the commission, these are professionals who have been working in different fields in this country. And not until that, in the opinion of the commission, that the evidence we have meets that threshold, we do not recommend prosecution for many cases that we get. Only a few ones that come in that we feel very strongly. So it's up to the courts now to decide what happens, whether what our opinion as a commission makes sense or does it make sense.
You've made recommendations, and it's up to the courts to decide what is expected to happen to those individuals, the 3 members of parliament who've been arraigned in court.
For me, really, as a commission, I don't want to know what will happen. I think we have done our work. The matters is between
what was your ultimate?
Well, our ultimate goal is to make those Kenyans, and I want to call them Kenyans, that we feel as a commission, they have broached the law to become ambassadors of cohesion by making sure that they do not repeat those statements, they do not utter those statements, and they are careful in the way they are selling their ideas to the Kenyan public. As a commission, I must say, really, we are very sad that we have some Kenyans who are suffering for breaching a law. But unfortunately, much as we have emotions, we were formed with a mandate which we must exercise, and that's what we are doing as a commission.
Wanyiri Kihoro, yes, just before you respond to that, looking at the members of parliament that have been arraigned, and looking at the arguments that is being brought forward by the No campaigners as this is selective application of the law, how would the No team have liked this whole issue to be addressed?
I think our people should have been respected. There is campaigning and there is negative campaigning. That there are things you can take to the members of the public in Kenya today. Because of their level of awareness, you'll actually be negatively campaigning against the position that you hold. And if the No campaigners, in the thinking of the Yes supporters, think that that is what is happening, the No campaigners are not are going the wrong direction, they should leave that to the judgment of the Kenyan people on the 4th of August. The Kenyan people will vote against people who are raising ethnic hatred. The point is that the National Cohesion and Integration Act, it is an act that was done years 2008, but the constitution of this country guarantees everybody freedom of expression. So when I find that it is the national cohesion that has taken as its major role, because I haven't heard anything else they have done except maybe reporting some things to, I don't know why, actually they don't have any investigative powers. All investigative and all prosecutorial power in this country is vested in the Attorney General, who can also instruct the police in case there is any action to be taken, and he can give consent. Like when myself was arrested, the Attorney General had to give consent for my being prosecuted. I don't know where these powers come from the national cohesion, that they can now be reporting when they complain. Police actually appear to be taking action very quickly, and the Attorney General is nowhere to be found. If
the Commission does not have prosecutorial powers, do you think it has enough teeth to actually send the message home?
I think it does, and the difference between this and normal cases that the police do, there are cases that the police investigate on their own, and they are satisfied that certain law has been broken and taken away, but for this particular one, the Commission actually does investigations, and once they have collected enough evidence that they think broaches this act, then they present that material to the police, who are free also to investigate further and charge people in court.